Thanks for visiting our channel again. Mark Harmon, the hero of NCIS, a genuine classic film legend, and the visage that is inseparable from Leroy Jethro Gibbs, but beyond the composed exterior and commanding performance style is a life that few know about. Mark Harmon, who had great athletic potential, abandoned football for a career in acting, but he had no easy road to stardom. His movie career spanned nearly 2 decades. However, he was also subject to tremendous strain, disputes at work, and unfortunate stories that circulated behind the scenes. Come with us as we uncover Mark Harmon's hidden life stories and illuminating career. What made a man act to abandon the pinnacle of his profession as a symbol of fairness? Was it tension at home, exhaustion, or long-suppressed animosity? Background of Mark Harmon. Burbank, California is the site of Mark Harmon's birth on September 2, 1951. He came from a prominent family and basked in their fame from the day he was born. Football great and Heisman Trophy winner Tom Harmon was his father. Although his mother, Elise Knox, had a prosperous career in Hollywood as an actress and model, there was an underlying assumption that Mark Harmon, who came from a family that had a significant impact in the arts and athletics, would carry on their achievements. Harmon had the rare opportunity to grow up in 2 very different households, where he learned the importance of hard work and discipline in sports from his dad, and an appreciation for the arts from his mom. Harmon, on the other hand, was not forced into anything but was instead allowed to pursue his interests at his own pace. At first, he decided to pursue a career in sports just like his famous father. Harmon was more than simply a football great at UCLA. He was an inspiration to his fellow students and a legend on the field. He guided UCLA to a 1972 NCAA championship win against Nebraska, interrupting their record-setting 32-game winning run in NCAA football. Harmon shocked everyone when he turned down an offer to play in the NFL and instead decided to finish his degree in communications at UCLA, even though everyone had expected him to keep playing sports and eventually become a professional player. It was evident that Harmon's life philosophy was mirrored in this decision, which was unexpected. He had no desire for stardom or fortune. His focus shifted to his own principles and development. When Mark Harmon made this decision, it was a watershed moment in his career that would take him away from football and onto stage, where he would go on to star as Leroy Jethro Gibbs on television. Mark Harmon set out on a journey to discover his life's purpose after earning a degree in communications. He dabbled in a few other areas before deciding to pursue acting professionally. Harmon had a career in business and was a sales representative for Adidas, a sportswear brand. Mark tried his best to enjoy these parts, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Then, as if by magic, acting entered his life. Harmon got his start with minor parts in TV series. His breakout role came in the popular 1980s TV series St. Elsewhere. Since the subject of a doctor's diagnosis with HIV/AIDS was delicate and seldom discussed on television during Harmon's time as Dr. Robert Caldwell, the impact he had on viewers was substantial. This part had double duty. It established his acting chops and paved the way for bigger things to come in his career. Mark Harmon started off on television and made his way into movies. He was a genuine and funny teacher in the 1987 comedy Summer School. The part wasn't a watershed moment in Harmon's career, but the way he wove comedy and drama together made a lasting impact. Mark Harmon's career took off, though, after he played NCIS's Leroy Jethro Gibbs. However, producers decided to create a new series based on Gibbs because of his smart and believable performance. With an impressive run of over 20 years, NCIS established itself as one of the most beloved series in American television history. In addition to being the show's protagonist, Leroy Jethro Gibbs became its very essence as he led the investigation team with a combination of emotion and firmness. Never stopped fighting for what's right. Because Harmon embodied Gibbs so convincingly, many viewers mistakenly believed the two were interchangeable. Over the course of her nearly 20 years as Gibbs, Harmon brought to life a complex character who was resolute while secretly struggling with grief. Because of his multifaceted personality, Gibbs became an iconic figure who inspired millions and served as a shining example of the need of justice. National Crime Investigations (NCIS) was more than that. Additionally, the tale revolved around the investigative team's strong bonds, camaraderie, and devotion to one another. Mark Harmon's personal life, as portrayed by Gibbs, became a symbol of these beliefs. The narrative of Mark Harmon and Pam Dauber's love is one of the few that will last in a Hollywood industry where scandals and short marriages are commonplace. After more than 30 years of marriage, they have established themselves as one of Hollywood's most exemplary couples. Both were well known in the entertainment world in the 1980s, when the pair first crossed paths. Mork and Mindy star Pam Dauber revealed that she had a string of failed relationships prior to meeting Harmon. But the level of development and maturity they were both at when they met was just the thing to cement their bond. They wed in 1987 in a low-key wedding, far from the usual Hollywood extravaganza. Their commitment to supporting and valuing one another is one of the special things about their marriage. Pam gave up her job after having children and devoted herself fully to becoming a mother, making sure she was there for all of her children's major life events. Having accomplished everything I wanted to in my profession, she declared, "I didn't want to chase fame anymore after having children. I fulfilled my lifelong dream of being a mother." Family was another area in which Mark Harmon excelled. He maintained a family-first attitude despite his hectic schedule of film and television work. While gone on set, he missed out on some of his children's most formative years, something he has spoken about. In an effort to strike a better work-life balance for his family, he decided to pursue a career in television rather than movies. As a family, Mark and Pam have always tried to avoid the limelight so that they can shield their children from the prying eyes of the media. Without the constraints of stardom, they were able to provide a loving home for their two sons. Harmon has stated before that this shows how much he values family and how much he respects Pam Dauber. But there are difficulties unique to being in the spotlight. There have been many whispers about marital problems or infidelity surrounding Harmon. Some rumors circulated about him, and one of the most prominent was that he had an affair that had an impact on his family life. These rumors circulated widely in the press, particularly when he was away from NCIS. Contrary to these claims, Harmon remained silent, declining to comment or address the press. He chose to let his lifestyle and actions do the talking instead. Despite the allegations and the challenges of their marriage, Steve and Pam were able to build a strong family over the course of 30 years. In Harmon's life, family came first, always coming before his job, going so far as to pass up lucrative entertainment chances in order to devote more time to his family. Harmon and Pam's love remained unshaken despite the rumors of infidelity. Rather, they served to emphasize Harmon's unwavering commitment to his family. Harmon said in an interview that respecting one another and sticking together through thick and thin are the two most important things in a marriage. True love can endure any storm, as the pair has demonstrated. Not only is Mark Harmon a beloved figure on television, but he is also a loyal, kind, and patient family guy who values his loved ones above all else. The untold tales of NCIS is making, not to mention all the attention his private life has received in the media. In the middle of NCIS's phenomenal success, Mark Harmon had to deal with some unpleasant behind-the-scenes stories. In addition to being the show's pivotal character, Harmon embodied the NCIS ethos. Cote de Pablo, Ziva David, Sean Murray, Timothy McGee, Michael Weatherly, and Tony D'Onofrio are just a few of his contemporaries who have praised him. Harmon was like a mentor to Cote de Pablo in her early days on the show. She was there to guide and support her whenever she needed it. On top of being someone who made everyone on set feel welcome and at ease, Michael Weatherly, on the other hand, valued Harmon's leadership and acknowledged that the two had shared wisdom throughout their careers, despite their obvious personality differences. Nevertheless, there were some hiccups in the background. Pauley Perrette, who portrayed the adored character Abby Ciuto, and Harmon had one of the most heated exchanges. After something happened in 2016 with Harmon's dog, their relationship started to go downhill. Harmon and Perrette became entangled after Harmon's dog bit a staff member during a set visit. Harmon may have felt bad about it and stopped bringing the dog to work, but the incident nonetheless drove a wedge between them. Publicly voiced her disapproval and declined to collaborate with Harmon. She left NCIS and in a series of tweets hinted at having been physically assaulted and silenced, leading many to believe she was talking about Harmon. The conflict between Perrette and Harmon was a major topic in the media, even though CBS released a statement saying that Perrette left due to problems at work. Regardless, Harmon was still considered a hero, a role model for his co-workers, and the driving force behind NCIS by the vast majority of them. His performance as Gibbs had an indelible effect on both audiences and his co-workers. What Gibbs and Mark Harmon left behind when they left NCIS. Mark Harmon's portrayal of Leroy Jethro Gibbs, the team's guiding spiritual figure through difficult cases and personal issues, became an iconic symbol of NCIS over the course of 18 seasons. As an exemplar of justice, Gibbs made an everlasting impression on viewers with his steadfast commitment, loyalty, and strong beliefs. Unfortunately, Gibbs' story had to end as well, just like every adventure. It was not an easy decision for Harmon to depart from NCIS after over 20 years in the role. He held Gibbs in higher regard than a mere fictional figure. Harmon had devoted a great deal of time and energy to the show, and he was an integral element of it. Harmon decided he needed a change now that he was in his 70s so he could find a better balance in his life, one in which he could appreciate the little things more and spend more time with his loved ones. The demanding nature of the entertainment world made him choose between continuing his work and returning to his family, as he mentioned in multiple interviews. Family was Harmon's choice. Millions of fans were shocked to hear that Gibbs was leaving NCIS after nearly 20 years as the show's central character. From Gibbs' cold appearance to his warm human moments, Harmon made him a very empathetic figure. On the NCIS team and with the viewers, Harmon was instrumental in creating a unique bond between Gibbs and his co-workers. Despite his departure from the post, Mark Harmon is still involved with the show as an executive producer. As a result, a lot of people think Gibbs isn't totally dead, and that fans will always hold the character in high regard as an icon of honesty, faithfulness, and righteousness. Gibbs's impact will last forever, making an indelible mark on the annals of American television. Mark Harmon's impact extends beyond NCIS. His influence now extends to new domains. His most recent literary endeavor is Ghosts of Honolulu, a book he co-authored to pay tribute to the real-life NCIS officers who often went unrecognized. The book is a memorial to the unsung heroes who have helped ensure the safety of our nation and a link to the world that Harmon lived in for almost 20 years on television. Harmon may have moved away from NCIS as a main character, but he has left the door open for side projects or even spin-offs based on Gibbs. Even in fleeting but significant cameos, fans long for the return of Gibbs, a character who is powerful, smart, and sympathetic. There has been talk that Harmon would stop acting altogether, but he is still interested in taking on projects that fit in with his present philosophy and way of life. A career for Mark Harmon has been more than that. It represents the importance of having a purpose in life. Harmon sees his departure from Gibbs as the start of something new rather than the end. He has now earned the chance to relax with his family and work on the things that truly inspire him after decades of serving his fans. If you've been a fan of Mark Harmon's Gibbs performances, you've probably come to adore the character just like we have. Give Mark Harmon your continued support as he embarks on new projects, and tell us about the special moments Gibbs has brought into your life, as well as the reasons he is one of the most iconic TV characters of all time. His adventure is far from ended, despite the fact that he may not make regular movie appearances anymore. Keep an eye on Harmon's future pursuits and treasure the memories he has bestowed upon us. He is a producer who has continued to make significant contributions to the art and television industries. Seeing this video has my gratitude. In the next one, we will see you.